1 month to Summer Games Fest.
God.
Big deal. Yeah.
Isn't that crazy how quick it is? How like soon it is?
It's a stacked one.
So much to do.
Okay.
So much to do. Yeah, I'm stoked though.
Is there
I miss
anything
E3, but I love it. I love it.
Is there anything that you can reveal that you're excited about, or is everything that you've got coming there secret at this point?
Every single email is like, don't say anything about what you're saying. I can't talk about shit with what I've got going on.
That's true. I agree. Everything is like that.
Unless you've got something that you can reveal. Oh no, the only people who have revealed what games they have at SGF is Xbox. Xbox has all the ID at Xbox stuff, so it's like Brave Seasons and what else?
I'm just gonna risk it. I don't care. I'm sure Devolver are cool, so they're gonna be okay. But My Arms Are Longer Now is one I'm gonna be playing there.
No, that's on the Xbox thing. You are safe.
Okay,
you are
cool.
safe.
Good. I was gonna risk it. I didn't care.
No, I played that at Day of the Devs last year and at GDC this year. It's excellent. It's a real fun time.
Yeah, I think you talked about it a little on the show. I think for me, I do like, just for inside baseball for people, there are like, you do sign up to see things that are still secret. Like I have on my calendar unannounced thing that I don't know what it is. I like to be excited, so I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
So there are surprises inbound.
Yes.
Hopefully they're good.
I should book my travel.
You should probably do that. Going up pretty fast.
I mean, at least for me, it's a 50-minute flight. But
that's true. It's very easy.
It's a much.
Ralph has a 24-hour flight to Summer Game Fest.
Nah, it's like 16. So
only 16.
It's only 16. It's nothing, man. We do that, as I said, standing on our heads, Australians. It's all good.
Yeah, you guys are used to it.
Yeah. We just have to pay like, fucking $8,000 for an economy flight now because of fuel prices.
And the rest, God.
You're gonna have to make.
Should we talk about the Strait of Hormuz? Do you guys want to talk about that at the top of the show? You interested in that conversation?
Definitely.
No? Okay, all right. Well, let me know if you change your mind, Luce. We'll come back to it.
I want to talk about video games and shit, man. Okay, something that we never do on this podcast.
Well, there's a lot to talk about this week, so
there is. What do we got? We've got a new Starfox was just announced.
Bro.
But, a remake of old Starfox. I know. This is Miyamoto.
This is Miyamoto.
This is Miyamoto. We got a Starfox Direct in 10 minutes. Dude, the scramble on everyone's newsrooms must have been... I mean, I was shooting something at the time. Yeah. We got that. We got Steam Controller. We got Mixtape. We got what we've been playing. Jake can talk about Bond, etc. We got a lot of good stuff in this episode. Should we start with Starfox?
I'll start with Starfox. Yeah. It's funny because I was like, I'm setting up a new phone, so I don't have like all my apps yet. And I just got the Discord thing, and it was both of you in our little Discord thing being like, fucking Nintendo. And I was like, oh no, what happened? I was like, they raised the price, because that was like a rumor, like the Switch price has gone up. And I go look, and I'm like, oh, Starfox. And then I put in all caps, I'm like, a remake? Come on.
Come on. This is like the fourth time they've remade this game, by the way, or like re-released it in some way.
So for me, my gut reaction is because look, I know it's been a while, but I feel like I just replayed it on 3DS. Mm-hmm. I know it's been a while, but like that was a good version.
That's a long time ago, Jake Baldino. That's a long time.
That was a good version.
What have you
that
been
was
in, like,
definitive.
You've been in like cryo sleep or some shit,
Yes.
Speaking of which, maybe I'm thinking about that because I just watched Vanilla Sky recently. But anyway, we'll come back to that later. So yeah, no. Look, I don't even feel like it's, for me. It's not about the fact that we've replayed it recently. For me, it's just like, okay, yep, sure, the same old gameplay. Like, it's just, all right, let's do that.
Well, now you can use mouse controls.
I mean, I guess there's a few things to unpack. Firstly, what do you guys reckon of the character designs? Do they look like that weird, scary taxidermist Fox character that we see running around?
It is like kind of in between there.
Is it like this? Is it like Sonic? Is it like the OG Sonic movie design before they changed it? What do you guys reckon? Where are we at with this?
Well, let me tell you, I'm getting ripped apart in the group chat because I said he was hot.
Because, oh my God.
Ripped apart.
Holy shit.
See, the thing is that his dad is hot. James McLeod.
Dude.
Yeah. I think he looks cool as fuck.
He has so much aura in that.
He looks
prologue.
awesome.
I'm like, damn, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is,
I just think they're all, not all of them, but like Falcon as well.
I feel like we're going to have very interesting new group of followers on this in the comment section.
A new generation of furries has been unlocked.
That's right. I don't hate
Fox looks weird.
I agree.
A lot of neck. He's got a lot of neck.
Bro.
Yeah.
Bro.
No. Not
and
good.
there's something wrong with that?
I mean,
What?
I have a lot of neck.
no. He doesn't have neck tall neck. He has neck like Ethan Klein neck. Do you know what I mean? Like that kind of neck.
Oh,
right?
like Big Ed neck.
I don't know.
Yeah,
man.
you have like cool lady neck.
Okay, thank you. I need you guys to just Google Big Ed from 90 Day Fiancé. Because whenever someone says neck, like like I feel like he and I are two ends of a spectrum.
Right. Okay.
When it comes to neck. Okay, so he's more on the Big Ed than the Lucy James. Okay, that's
I just don't like the designs very much. I don't think they're very Nintendo. I don't think they're very Starfox. I think that like they're just kind of weird, like weird sort of, you know, yeah, it's kind of those trailers where they like remake games in Unreal and so, you know what they would look like, and rather than something more stylized and more sort of like, they just kind of look a bit scary. Like they look like characters like I don't want to pick them up and cuddle them because I'm kind of scared of them. They look pointy, you know what I mean? I feel like I would hurt myself if I touched them, you know?
Fox is the only one that's a little off-putting to me. The rest of it I think looks fine, but I still feel like they had something with the Fox design in the new Mario movie.
Yeah.
Like, he looked cool.
Yeah.
Go with that.
I agree with that. I agree. And or even like the Smash design of Fox and like which obviously is a few generations old now and a very different art style, but like just in that ballpark. So but I don't know, I really love Starfox back in the day, right?
It's a solid game.
Fantastic game. But it came out like a billion years ago, okay? It's very old now. The gameplay is a very old style of gameplay. Does that hold up in the modern era for any more than like a few levels for us? Like, I don't know. You're going to have to pay like $60 for this if you want to buy it physical, I think, right? But even separate from like, okay, the price tag, like $30 or whatever else, like forget about that. Just simple question. Like, does this gameplay hold up in the modern era? I personally think it does from like a nostalgic perspective where it's like, oh, cool, this is how games used to be. And like, this is fun. I remember this. Cool. But like, am I excited about the prospect of doing that again? Like, I don't know, man. I don't feel like that. I don't, will we even like it going back to it? I really would love to see Nintendo like trying to do something more with this. Cause you know, like it's a cool franchise and you could do lots with it. And you know, there's like, different directions you could take it, because obviously you've got stuff like Everspace, for example, which is like a big open space Ludo kind of game, and you've got like, I don't know, fucking Ace Combat, you know what I mean, like which obviously has been doing its thing over the years, and like which is Jet Combat and whatever else. And I don't know, man, like it would be cool if Nintendo made a sequel, made a new Star Fox game with new gameplay that's like feels modern and great. And
do you think they're just so risk averse with this property just because they've bungled it a couple of times already that at this point they don't even know what to do anymore?
Yeah, I suspect, you know, I suspect, because it's a very risky prospect to be like, let's make a space combat game. Like who's buying that, right? That's a very risky proposition. So I think it's much safer for them to just be like, well, let's just remaster the old one and then that's
like testing the waters and see how it goes, I suppose.
Is it though? Like, I don't know.
Well, they did one on Wii U, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yes,
everyone hated it.
Everyone hated that one.
I did not enjoy that. The thing is that I'm not a big Star Fox person. I'm not a big Nintendo person. I played that Wii U one, and I just remember thinking, this is the Star Fox that people are going crazy over? This is why people always hold Star Fox in such high regard. No.
Honestly, some people have nostalgia for Star Fox Adventures, and it's like maybe there's a world where they can do a good one of that.
Look,
I don't know. Is that
Jet
crazy?
Force I want Jet Force Gemini sequels, man.
Nostalgia for the weirdest things, man.
Bring it back. But like, I don't know. Look, I'm okay with remasters, remakes. I mean, I'm cool with it. I don't know, but just I think with this one, given that it's been redone so many times, and given that the gameplay is very old, I just don't know that like this necessarily needs that. I would much rather them direct that effort towards making a new game that continues this franchise because it's cool and it fits neatly into Nintendo's wheelhouse. It's a bunch of animals flying through space having adventures, and it's cool and nice, and no one else makes games like this. You know, there was actually an indie game that was made, I forget what it's called now, but like it's basically, you know, Starfox again, but you know, for like the modern era, and it's the same sort of thing, right? That's the closest I think we've had to Starfox, you know, since the originals. So yeah, like Nintendo should pick this up again, and this ain't it.
But you know what the world does need, and that's Starfox game chat things.
Dude, no, that's actually amazing. Like we're gonna do an entire episode where we're just the avatars, and we're just.
Oh, please, can we do that?
Yes, yeah. I mean, so we used to use Google Meet, and there was one time that Jake turned himself into a robot and couldn't figure out how to turn it off.
That's right. I forgot about that.
No, just to explain this for anyone who's missed it. So the way they're using the it's a new feature added to the game. Using the Switch 2 camera, it'll actually like kind of VTube you, as in like, so it'll film you, and you know, you'll see, people will see the avatar and it'll like smile when you smile, it'll talk when you talk, like it basically, you know, does the VTuber thing, but with Star Fox characters, and I think that's amazing, and I love it. I reckon that's a really great touch.
Yeah, I liked how they used it in the direct too. That was very.
Yeah, I agree.
However, do you have that camera hooked up? I do not.
Never once used that feature.
I've never once used it, but it's hooked up. I got it. I bought it, and I was like, I'm never going to use this, but I still bought it.
I'm like, camera, don't look at me. No way.
Do not look at me. That's right.
Don't me.
So
let's start.
Yeah. I don't know. Am I being curmudgeon-y about this? Am I like,
No,
I'm willing to. I'm very open. I'm easily baited by nostalgia, and I'm very open to be excited by Star Fox. But I was just like, oh man, we're just kind of remaking the first one. All right, you know,
That's it.
I don't know.
You know,
I'll give it a shot, and you know, if it's just a good old fashioned good time, sure. But right now, I'm like, all right.
But like, you know exactly what it's going to be because you've already played it. So like, my question is, do you want to play that again?
Yeah, I don't know. The tank sections looked way cooler. The tank sections look better.
Yeah, I agree with that. I do agree with that.
They look,
you know,
I don't know. I mean, I look nice. I don't know. That's the thing, is that Nintendo nostalgia doesn't necessarily do it for me. So, you know, I'm unburdened from that.
Sure.
So I don't know. We'll see.
Look, I think here's the other thing. I think the truth is Nintendo are still making, like, if Nintendo were just doing this, I'd be like, oh, God damn it, Nintendo. But the truth is they are also making other cool games. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we just had an innovative Donkey Kong game.
Incredible Donkey Kong
still
game.
doing new stuff.
You know, we've got a Kirby Air Rider game, for example. And like, you know, like, and we don't know when the next Mario is or whatever else, but like, or Zelda, but we know they're coming. You know what I mean? And they're about to put out a new Yoshi game. And like, they're doing their thing, right? So I think it's, would be a very false narrative to be like, oh, all we get these days is remakes. It's like, no, we get other stuff too. But it's like, does this need to be remade again?
Yeah.
Personally, I'm in the bucket of like, nah, we're okay. No. We don't need this. But whatever.
Give me that Ocarina of Time remake, you know?
It's very rumored. It's probably going to happen, I guess. Mm-hmm. I'm so scared, honestly, as like probably like the most important game to me in terms of like, I don't know, man. I'm just so terrified of what they might do with that. Please don't fuck it up. I'm so scared.
Yeah, that's. Oof. Good luck.
That's it. It's Ocarina, man. It's like it's just Ocarina. Like, what do you even say? Like, what do you? Anyway, let's move on.
That's one where it's like the feel is so hard to replicate, and part of it is because of the lo-fi and older nature of it. Like, I don't know how you can capture that feel.
Yeah, I totally agree. It would. That's tough. It's very high risk. But anyway. We'll see.
But at least now we can see every single strand of hair on Fox McCloud's face, or every feather in Falcon Lombardi's, which I still think is funny that that's his name. Sorry, I just like
his Joey Bag of Donuts. For
I was like, that sounds like a guy I know. Okay,
right. Like Lombardi.
Well, speaking about how things feel, you boys have Steam controllers.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
how is it?
I just got mine. I'm only like, you're only getting my first impressions. I got mine a little late. I got mine yesterday, so I've been playing 2 days straight on it. When I took it out of the box, I was immediately like, "Whoa, that's big!
Yeah,
way too big." Yeah, I immediately was like, "This is Duke status."
Oh, it is.
Or like
no, it is.
Dreamcast status. But yes, it is light, and it's not completely like thick all around. It once you actually get it in your hand, you kind of forget that it's that big. So far, so good. It's mostly what I expected. They were pretty upfront about like what it is, and it's a sandwiched together Steam Deck. It feels good. The trackpads I've actually found myself using. Just basic navigation on my PC, nothing crazy. I did download Civ, and I'm curious to see how much I can get out of it. But
Kurt and I played a Hopa the other day.
Yeah,
and it was pretty good. The one thing I will say is that I don't particularly enjoy the back pedals, but I think paddles because I use the Elite Series 2, and I think those are just much easier to click in, especially in the back. Yeah. So that's my one gripe with it. Overall, I think it's a real nice controller.
Puck is cool. I like the Puck, but I am so excited that they put out the specs for it for people to make their own things, because that Puck is begging to be like a stand where you place the controller and like a charging stand.
Yeah.
What about you, Ralph? You put out a whole video, right? I did
put out a whole ass video. I also interviewed Valve. So had a good chat with them about it. But yeah, long story short, I really like it. I think, it's a controller. It's not going to change anyone's world. But if you are in the market for a PC controller, like a controller that you will use exclusively on PC, I think this is the best one now, because it just has the most stuff that you're probably going to use in this space. You know what I mean? I think the trackpads obviously is the biggest deal. They are actually incredibly responsive and nice to use, more so than they were on the Steam Deck.
Yeah.
They just feel really great. And I think that, if with the Steam machine, whenever that arrives, like you can use big picture mode through Steam. You don't really need a cursor, right? But I think what I hope this will result in is this. Right now, there are many games that use that annoying fucking Destiny cursor, right? Where you have to control it, right? And currently, if you use this controller in those sorts of games, the trackpads don't work because it says, oh, there's a controller. It ignores this, and it will still force you to use the stick to be able to move the cursor around, right? I think what's going to happen is that developers are going to then start to default to the idea that like your cursor in-game can be controlled by either one. And that is going to be so nice. Oh so God. Nice. Yeah. Because I think about stuff like Diablo, for example, right? Where I would really like to be able to play that with a controller, except for the inventory management, like the item management stuff, which is so annoying, right?
Yeah.
And right now controllers, like this controller still can't really do that, or it can actually through Steam input. But ultimately, I guess what I'm saying is that Blizzard will eventually just like change the default, one of the default controller schemes for Diablo and other games like it, so that you can use either or. And it's going to be so nice to use this trackpad as a means of controlling games like that, Other thing is gyro, which I think didn't really get talked about enough in many of the reviews that I saw, but it's like kind of a game changer. If you start tinkering around with how it can be used in certain games. So the example I gave in my review was like in Returnal, because on PC, Returnal does not have gyro support. Okay. Now you can turn it on this controller, so it's on all the time, right? So you can now play Returnal with gyro. And you do that through Steam input. But I personally don't like doing that. I don't like gyro on all the time when I'm using it with games. So for that reason, I've avoided using it. The thing about the Steam controller is it has capacitive sensors at the back here and here. Now, I can basically hold the controller like this as I'm playing, right? So my hands aren't kind of like on the controller fully. It's still very comfortable. It's exactly how I play it and whatever else. But then if I grip the controller fully, that I can use as a toggle to turn gyro on and off. So as I was playing through Returnal, I'm essentially like grips off when I'm walking around because I don't need to precisely aim. When combat begins, I grip the controller. And at that point, I can now use the controller in addition to the thumbsticks. So I've got like the thumbstick for big movements and then gyro for more precise aim. It feels amazing to do that. Truly like fantastic. Like tremendous use case for the controller. I didn't really believe it until I started playing around with it because Valve explained it to me and I'm like, oh, okay, that sounds novel, I guess. And then I started using it. I'm like, oh shit. Okay, cool. Like playing a third person shooter or a first person shooter even on PC now becomes so much more viable on controller, where before I would just never do it. I'd be like, no, I hate using it, you know?
That is a use case I would never even have thought of.
Correct.
Like, it's, yeah.
And that's it. And that's the thing. And those that capacitive center, by the way, you don't need to use that just for gyro. Like, that's just an input. So you could do that with anything, there are so many different things in different games that you might use that for, because it's an input. It's an on-off toggle that you can bind to anything, you know? So
how's battery?
Oh, dude, battery's like crazy. It's like 35 hours, but it's nuts. I definitely have not stress tested it, but also because the puck is on the desk and you just like drop it onto the puck, it's magnetic.
There,
It's there. And yeah, it's really wild, because also the other thing is it's got these special new sticks, which are TMR. They're like something magnetic, something, I don't know, whatever. Point is, they're much more battery efficient, and that's how it gets a lot of its gains. And also it doesn't have, like, I don't know, the haptics aren't as sophisticated as the PS5 DualSense, for example. It doesn't have the reactive triggers like the DualSense does. So, like the DualSense Edge, man, I don't know if any of you guys use that controller. Does anyone use it?
I don't
battery
have
life's
it.
really bad.
Bro, the battery is out of control.
I know the
and
battery's
playing something
bad,
like Saros is ridiculous.
but also it was $200, and I was like, I don't want to pay $200 for a controller that makes my hands hurt.
Well, that's true. Yes. No. So yeah, the battery life in this is very smart. But I think, you know, what this controller is really going to provide for more than anything else is people using Steam input more. Mm-hmm. And when people understand what Steam input is and how customizable it is, it's going to open up a lot of new ways to play games on PC and like new control schemes. And all of them are community packages that can be sort of uploaded, and then you could just download someone's controller bindings, and you don't have to worry about any config bullshit. You just be like, oh, I heard this one's really good. Done. Download it, installed instantly, away you go, you know? But I will say, though, this does not work outside of Steam, and that is a bummer. Doesn't work on consoles, doesn't work on like through the Blizzard client, for example. You have to play your games through Steam, and that's a shame, because, I don't know, it would have been nice if this was a bit more versatile.
But just, that's wave one, you know? Could become. I mean, later.
They might. And look, they could maybe update the firmware, to it as well. Like, that just seems like something Valve would do. Just that team just sort of seems built that way.
Yeah. Cool.
So yeah. So will you buy one, Luke?
I was gonna buy one, and then I saw the absolute chaos of people trying to buy one. So
oh man, I got one. I got one, and it was brutal. I got so lucky.
Oh.
It's like buying Taylor Swift tickets, right? For nerds.
It was crazy.
I'm gonna buy Olivia Rodrigo tickets at the moment. Tell me about it.
I don't know anything about that, but if you say so, sure.
It's a similar vibe. It's awful.
So the other thing though is the price. $100. I think that's a tough sell for some people. I'm curious to see how you guys feel about it, because on the one hand, it doesn't feel ultra expensive, but I think in terms of features packed into it, I think it's pretty justified. Where are you guys?
I covet it.
You covet it.
I do covet. I would pay that and I'd be fine with it. I'm going to pay that and I will.
Yeah, I did too. Like, full disclosure.
But I think it is just a sign of how ingrained I am in the Steam ecosystem, in the PC ecosystem. It's that, like, I have one controller that I take with me. Even when I take my handheld away, I always pack my Elite controller. And it's got so many things on it that can come off in my bag, which has happened, that I would like just a sort of dedicated other controller that I could just pop in my bag and just hop around.
I feel like, look,
okay,
obviously.
Yeah. It smells like a Steam Deck. Actually, it smells like an HTC Vive Gen 1.
Wow.
That's very specific,
but
extremely,
real ones know.
I think that obviously, look, $100 is not cheap for a controller for sure, but I have also seen some commentary being like, it's a scam, it's a ripoff, Valve. I was like, well, look, dude, Valve are not trying to make money on this controller, man. Like, Valve have more money than God. They don't give a fuck about this controller from a profit perspective. Do you know what I mean? They make so much money from their storefront. They are interested in putting out hardware at a reasonable price so they can grow their ecosystem and, like, you know, just make for a healthier PC gaming landscape, right? So them charging $100 for this, I can't imagine that they're price gouging us, man. I can imagine that, like, it probably costs, I don't know, what, 80, 70, 80 bucks to make? Who knows? I'm just guessing, right? Point is, I don't look at this and think, oh, Valve is trying to rip me off. Valve is trying to, I just think like there's a lot of features in this controller. If you compare it to other controllers in the market, it's actually extremely well priced, right? If you talk comparatively, you know, given all the things that this controller can do. I'm not saying it's cheap because obviously $100 is a lot of money. But what I am saying is I don't think Valve are ripping us off at all. I think there's value in this controller if it's something that you want. Like, you know what I mean? If you have need for these features. And I guess that's another important point though, right? Most people, I would say, don't need this controller. The other controllers that you can get that are cheaper will do the job just fine. If you're not interested in gyro, if you're not interested in these touchpads, if back buttons do not worry you, if, you know, the idea of that charge puck or whatever doesn't particularly interest you, if you're a very casual gamer who just plays like, I don't know, a couple of hours a month and you just need a basic controller, this is not it because this is way overkill, right? But if you're like serious about this thing and you want a really good controller that does like a lot of shit, then I think it's a pretty good price point for you. That's what I would say, you know? So, yeah, that's where I'm at.
Well said. Mm-hmm. Checks in the mail. Valve checks in the mail.
That's right. They sent me 2 controllers and I'm officially shill up. Damn.
That's it.
They sent you 2? Can I have one? I'm kidding.
No, I gave the other one to Austin. Sorry.
For God's sake.
I know, it's so rude.
Love you, Austin.
He's the GOAT.
He deserves
Give it to him.
He does. He does.
Anything else on Steam controller?
Smells good.
Smells good. I'm looking forward to
the sniff test.
I'm looking forward to some different colorway options. They did when I spoke to Valve. They said they're interested in that sort of thing, so we can expect some of that.
Yeah.
In Half-Life, Half-Life 3. They said in my interview, which I can't show you, they confirmed Half-Life 3, and they said that they'll release a Half-Life 3 limited edition controller. So I can't release that footage, but just trust me. They said that. They definitely confirmed all that. So yeah, there you go. Just trust me, bro.
Trust
Put that out there. Trust me.
Trust me, bro. All right. Well, coming up next. Ooh, I don't know why I sounded like a newsreader. Coming up next, we swapped
that works.
Birthdays. No, we spoke to Johnny and Woody from Beethoven and Dinosaur, who are the developers of Mixtape. A fun, chaotic interview because it happened. It happened literally just because we were like, "Hey, we should get them on," and then we sent them the link, and we were like, "Can you come on now?"
Yep.
And they crashed in.
And they crashed in. And so for them. The game is about to come out. We'll talk about it after the interview. But first, a quick word from our sponsors. Support for today's episode comes from Square, the business platform that helps sellers become neighborhood favorites. Whether you're gearing up for a busy season or just trying to keep up with everyday demand, Square keeps your business running smoothly from payments and POS to online orders, inventory, staff, and more. All in one place so you can focus on your customers, not your to-do list. If you're ready to grow or streamline how you run things, well, Square is offering our listeners up to $200 off Square hardware when you sign up at square.com/go/friends. That's once again, SQUARE.com/go/friends. You start with Square and build a setup that grows with your business. Now, Jake, what does that mean?
So I've actually seen, like, you know, what is it? Neighborhood favorites. It helps sellers become neighborhood favorites. I've seen that actually happen firsthand. I know somebody that makes pottery and sells that pottery at local craft fairs. I also know somebody that runs a business where they sell candles, and Square has helped enable them to do that. They went from just the idea of making stuff and maybe selling it to some of their friends, to having a full business. And that helps because Square brings payments, POS, inventory, even staffing and online sales together in one simple system. And they marry hardware and software together really well. You don't have to be a master business genius or anything like that to get something going. And that's huge.
Yeah, and Square works whether you're just starting out or if you're taking your one location to many. You can sell online, in-store, or both, and customize your setup as your business evolves. Square is built to support different kinds of businesses. Doesn't want to force everyone into the same mold, which is great.
That's huge. Plus, you have options, free, plus, and premium. So you can essentially pick the tools you need because every business is different. But sellers who use Square's software see 9% higher sales on average. So it is definitely worth checking out.
Yeah, and Square helps you run your business more smoothly, bringing payments, operations, and insights together in one place so you're ready for whatever's next. Right now, listeners of Friends Per Second can get up to $200 off Hi Jelly Square hardware when you sign up at square.com/go/friends. That is SQUARE.com/go/friends. Get started with Square and build a setup that works the way you do. Thanks again to Square for sponsoring this episode.
Hey, this podcast is sponsored by Warby Parker. You may notice if you're watching the video version, we're rocking some cool eye coverings, glasses, sunglasses. Warby Parker offers a ton. I've been a customer for a long time, so when they reached out to work with us, it was an absolute no-brainer. Right here, I am rocking the Sol pair. I usually wear like thicker glasses, like kind of like a Weezer style, but I decided to try something different, and it's been great. And I tried something different because Warby Parker makes it so easy to buy glasses. I am someone who doesn't like making doctor's appointments and like stuff like that, but Warby Parker makes it so easy. Getting an appointment, the retail experience, all of it. I was able to set up, make an appointment online, go in, get an eye exam, get my prescription, and find the perfect glasses. Their showroom lets you just browse, pick exactly what you want. It's incredibly comfortable. Shout out to some folks that worked at Warby Parker that listened to this podcast. It was really cool to meet them. It's been great. Lucy, what about you though?
So I live in California, and while I don't need glasses, I do need a pair of sunglasses because there's a lot of sun around here. And so for me, I love the fact that I could just open up my phone and use the virtual try-on to find a great pair of sunglasses. And I love these. These are the Brimmer.
God, they look so cool.
I'm really into them. I love them. I've become that like person who's like, yeah, I've done it like 5 times during this read. But it's just like being able to use my phone camera to try on everything, something that crucially like fits my face shape, fits my style. And just, there was so much choice too that I was like, oh, I want that one and I want that one. But it was like, ultimately it was like, these ones look really good on me. So like I showed the picture to all my friends and they were like, get that pair. And so I'm super glad I did. Shipping was really quick too. And so it just turned up at my door a couple days later. And now I wear them every damn day.
It feels like the whole eye doctor, picking glasses, sunglasses, whether you're prescription or not, all of that just felt very old school. And Warby Parker has made it so easy, so simple. But the big thing is the price, right? Their prescription glasses start at $95. So you can actually get quality and stylish frames at an affordable price. Plus, my pair, actually, like the way it fit, was kind of sliding off. I was able to go in store and get them adjusted. So Warby Parker really covered, whether you're shopping in real life, online, they've really got you covered. So, interesting little note before we go. For every pair they sell, they also give a pair to someone in need. Warby Parker has distributed over 20 million pairs of glasses to people in need through its Buy a Pair, Give a Pair program. So if you want to get on that and know that they are covered by major eye insurance plans, buy one prescription pair and get 20% off any additional prescription pairs at warbyparker.com/friends. That's 20% off additional prescription pairs when you go to warbyparker.com/friends. warbyparker.com/friends. Check it out. And big thanks to Warby Parker for sponsoring this podcast.
Your game comes out in 11 and a half hours.
Yeah.
How are you feeling?
It's adding up. It's adding up, Lucy. I've been drinking for the last 2 weeks solidly on a press tour.
Excellent.
I'm jet lagged. My child cried all night because he didn't want to go to school today because he's been out for a month, just gallivanting across.
Well, that's your
across
fault.
the world
That's
on a
your
press
fault
tour.
for setting him up for that.
Yeah, totally.
know.
He's like, this is normal life now. I want this all the time.
Yeah, and I'm going to be up all night tonight as well. So I'm just existing on caffeine.
So tell us, for anyone who hasn't heard of Mixtape before, never seen a lick of gameplay, give us the elevator pitch. What is Mixtape?
Mixtape is a video game about 3 friends on their last night together, going to their last party on the last day of high school, listening to the greatest soundtrack of all time. which has such bands as, hey, Woody, let's do a bit of a 1-2. Devo.
The Smashing Pumpkins.
Lush.
The Cure.
Alice Coltrane. And several more. There's like 28 tracks. And each song is a different kind of gameplay. There's a mixtape of music, there's a mixtape of gameplay. Each song kind of gets its own moment, its own mechanic, and its own narrative thrust. And we're really proud of it. It's really beautiful.
It is. It's really, really beautiful.
How do you go about getting songs like that? Is it just a simple like licensing lawyer thing, or do you pitch the idea? Is it violence? Is it murder?
A lot of like dark tunnels and weird blood sacrifices and stuff like that.
Yeah. That's how you get the Cure songs. You got to like summon Robert Smith like through a pentagram, and he comes up, he's like crying and shit.
He's like, what?
And no, but seriously though, how do you do it? Because like the amount of licensed music in this, and how hard it is to get licensed music in general. Like, how did you actually pull this off?
Well, we got a music supervisor, and when you get a music supervisor and you tell them, we're making a video game about a girl who wants to be a music supervisor, and it has to have the greatest soundtrack of all time. They're like, can we swear on this?
Yeah, absolutely.
They're like, I'm fucking in. So, and then the next thing is like, so you've got someone there who's like in your corner. And then the next thing you have to do is like convince the bands that it's a good idea. Now, usually you would present them to like show them the bit of the film they're in or the bit of the game they're in. But we have the, added advantage of that the characters talk about the songs and talk about how much they love the songs. And so you send like Billy Corgan a thing where someone's talking about how rad the Smashing Pumpkins are, like, can we use it? And he'd be like, he was like, yes. He was like, sick.
So am I to believe from this that you didn't really pay for this music? You more just flattered the people involved, and they're like, hell yeah, man, I'm on board.
We paid.
It's you everywhere.
We paid.
Okay,
We paid for the music.
We paid, but we didn't pay like tons.
Got it.
Yeah,
got it.
I think the whole like it's not background music. It's like it's a character. It's platformed. It's celebrated. It's it's a main part of the game. They're like, yeah, okay, we'll give you a $1 discount or something like that. So
so like the gameplay scenarios, did it start with the music or did it start with the scenarios? Or was it like a mix of both?
Started with the music.
Okay.
Johnny had a pretty good track list to start off with, and we kind of laid that music line or all those tracks out in a row, much like a mixtape. And then we so what story is that telling? How is this fitting with the narrative? How is this giving us the emotional highs and the crescendos and the bits of piece that we wanted? And we move things around a little bit here and there. And then we use that to like basically build the whole game in that one sort of long line. We did a horizontal slice. We didn't do a vertical slice to start the game. So we did the whole game was playable very, very early on.
Wow.
Real shitty. And I was all the acting.
Yeah.
I was gonna
excellent.
say, where is the Johnny cut?
Yeah,
No.
Where you
it's
are
around.
every character.
It's around.
Animation reference.
I know. Oh,
I
there's
feel like
tons
you just
of
released-
animation reference of me, and there's tons of me. I doing all the teenage voices.
Yeah.
And no one needs that. No one needs to hear that.
I
No one
think
needs
you
that
do.
in their
Needs
life.
it. I think you should sell it as DLC.
Now we're
and it
talking,
would
Ralph.
pop off.
I just remember. I remember at the time too, just thinking like, yeah, I fucking nailed that. All right, and then we did the whole game. And then on the day we handed in the game, we went back and we played that first demo that we had made and sent to Annapurna.
After hearing like the
get
voice
game
actors
made.
for
After hearing it, and I was like, oh man, I suck.
really one note. It kind of just sounds like me the whole time. It's kind of
It's
crazy.
really, and you can tell I'm trying to do different characters, but I'm not really getting it. Anyway, I had fun.
Yeah, we built it all along, and then we went through and like kind of stood it up. Like brought the visuals and the audio up, and then
yeah. And then you have to give every song like, because when you get given like I love Devo. When Devo give you that's good. Like you have to treat it like this precious relic that you've been given, and you have to add on top of that. And so that's why like there's so many different kinds of mechanics and different kind of visual styles and different crazy tricks we use for each track, because you have to pay homage and like pray at the altar of each track.
Yeah.
Did you ever go back and like does Devo now know like what you have done with That's Good in terms of like gameplay? Do you think has any of the bands like seen it and experienced like this is how we've interpreted your song into gameplay into this?
I like to think Mark Mothersbaugh knows, just somehow.
I think we said
that at one point. At one point, he knew, and he went. That was it. That's kind of how I imagine Mark Mothersbaugh knew. We have played it to the voice actors because the game's not out yet, so it'll eventually get to those musicians. But we got to play it with the voice actors, which was dope. And then
didn't the two Bryans? The Bryans wanted to know.
Oh, the Bryans wanted, yeah, actually, because there's a line in the game about Roxy Music, Brian Ferry and Brian Eno, two of the greatest Bryans in the same band. What are the odds? And they rang me up and they're like, what that Brian wants to know where in the game this song is used. And I'm like, which Brian? They're like, we didn't ask which Brian. I'm like, God damn it, I need to,
Brian.
I need to know which fucking Brian it was. It was Brian Ferry. It was Brian Ferry.
Right. Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
And like you guys are working on this for a bit longer than you were originally planning, right? Like I think
about 6 months.
Was that
6 months more?
About 6 months longer. Okay. And was that just to do your normal video game polishing stuff, or was it like okay, right, okay. So
Purely
we call it putting the knobs on because one time when we were making Artful Escape, Mikey made this oven at the back of a scene, and it was like it just needed to be a box, but like he put the knobs on, and we were like, like, Mikey, that's just who you are as an artist, and I think we really adopted that as a team to put the knobs on. And that was what we were doing for 6 months.
Artful Escape,
I did actually.
You blast past it in 2 seconds anyway. So.
No, Artful Escape, we would work on stuff for like months, and you just see the player go past this thing that we had built. Anyway,
well, I would love to know because like I loved Artful Escape. So how do you go from working on a game like that to this? Was there something from Artful Escape that you wanted to dig into more? Like, what's the pipeline?
I think the main difference is that Artful Escape is about being a musician and being a creative, and Mixtape is far more about being a listener and a music fan. And like I just remember being like that obnoxious teenage music fan who would judge you by what bands you listen to. And I remember being in that scene in Melbourne and how cool it was, and because Melbourne has a great rock and roll scene when I was hanging about back in the day, and I just remember hanging out with those kids, and we would sell T-shirts and we would make posters for bands when they came into town. And then when I was a bit older, I got a record deal and I met those kids and they sold my T-shirts and made posters for me and stuff. And it was always just this like really positive scene about like just digging music, and it didn't really seem to go just being into shit. And I think that's definitely what like Mixtape is about, is like, just remember when you were defined by the shit you liked, and wasn't it cool when you built a community and had a community that was based around just common artistic interests? Wasn't that dope? That's what Mixtape is about. Just be into shit and like really get into it and annoy people with it. That's the best way to be.
Yeah, right. So then how do you, because it sounds like that's a very, how would you say, like a joyful sort of rendition of youth, you know, because like you remember what it was like to be part of these cool, fun communities and whatever. But then there's also an element to the game of like, you know, the sort of teenage-y angst and some of the struggles. And so how did you sort of approach that part of it and bring that to the game? And like, what was your overall philosophy when it comes to that stuff?
Well, I think when you lay out the mixtape, when we lay everything out at the start, it's like all these different, because Mixtape's like an art of arrangement. So like it's amazing that you can have all these different people from different time periods making different music, and if you line them all up together, there's this emotional core that connects them all. And so those points of darkness and those points of conflict were brought from the soundtrack. Everything was brought up from that soundtrack. The narrative came from there, and the beats came from there. But as far as like drawing from ourselves and what was important to us, is like I just remember the platonic friendships in high school being far more devastating and impactful than the romantic relationships I had. Like it was the platonic ones. It was the friend group that was like the highest conflict and the biggest highs and lows. So that's what I brought in from that angle.
Yeah, everything always felt like the biggest thing. It's like, oh, yeah, this person went to this party and did this thing, and that's crazy. The world's going to be different. Yeah. And it was like, come on.
I mean, what is it at those parties every Thursday night in Northcote in a shed?
Nice.
Don't dox me.
Yeah, sorry.
People like banging on garage doors in this one now, you know.
Woody!
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, right. So, I mean, and in terms of like the actual process of making this video game, because you've got so many different sort of like scenarios and whatever, was there any particular scenario that you're like, fuck, man, I really wish we didn't make this one. This is too much. And this is too annoying. Like
half
too
of
hard
them
to create.
Half of them.
Right.
A lot of them took so much fucking effort.
Right.
Oh, things that you want to feel effortless are
full of effort.
Like the when they fly that through the fields, and it's a system where they kind of can jump, and then they can get taken on like these wind tunnels, and then they do these individual different flips each time, and the different characters have to do different flips, and then the angle we wanted to come up is different than the angle we wanted to come down, so you need a different thing to kind of shear them off. But then you need a completely different game mode from when they're hovering just about, should I stop now? Anyway, it was like
there's a lot.
So hard to make it feel like you were a leaf on the breeze. Those kind of things are insane. And like flying at the end.
Yeah, the finale was...
When is this? Anyway, the finale, I can't believe that even runs. So, let alone flies, you know. Right. So, there was lots of times where making things effortless is really hard, and then there's other times where getting the slushy to be the right viscosity.
The slushy it did.
I was impressed by the slushy, to be fair.
The slushy was,
and then it turns around at the end, and you can see that all the flavors are bleeding into each other and stuff.
That
was a big performance thing. Yeah, like Mikey here did so much work to get that actually running. It was crazy.
Yeah, and also the collision detection on the VHS tapes.
Yeah,
in the video.
Yes, very important.
Yes, I'm sure that would have taken some work. As
and
well.
I
made 250 VHS covers for that.
Of course you did.
Yeah.
No, sure.
Because you start it and you're like, can we just do a generic kind of blockbuster? And we hate ourselves, so we said no.
Definitely not.
Johnny, you and I spoke in February. We were at DICE. And I asked you then how you felt about the game's soundtrack and obviously hearing the same songs and everything over and over.
Yeah.
You are now like right about to release. You've just been on the press tour.
Yep.
How are you still feeling about that soundtrack?
I went into Amoeba Records and I bought every fucking Devo album and every Devo t-shirt. The next Devo fan that goes in there is fucked.
There is no longer any Devo merch left in California. It's zero.
I really bought it all. I actually have some of it around. And I bought some Devo action figures. No, I'm just part of the cult at this point for those songs. And now it feels like they mean even more to me. You know, when you hear them, I heard like Roxy music more than this in a supermarket the other day, and I felt like I'd been activated like a sleeper agent.
Yeah.
Winter soldiered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard that in the airport, literally on my way through Sydney.
Yeah.
Like, Roxy music was playing. I was like, relevant.
Every time I went into
music was so big in Australia.
I was going to say I didn't realize that AC/DC was so big in LA because every time I went into a bar in LA, they were playing AC/DC, and I'm like, are they doing this because of me?
Bloody Akadaka.
They don't call it Akadaka.
They don't call it Akadaka.
So they don't. That's right. That's how you can tell that they don't really know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Wait,
I've never heard it called Akadaka.
What?
That's what we.
This is what we're talking about.
That's right. Yeah. See, but you can't see the top row. We'll rearrange these panels, but the top row. Anyway,
it's all Australians.
It's all Australians. That's right.
You wouldn't get it down there.
That's right. You don't get it down
there. You wouldn't understand.
I am curious. So this obviously is hitting 11 hours from now. It's going to be out by the time this podcast is out.
Oh, cool.
It's hitting all platforms.
Fucking everything, dude.
PlayStation.
Way too many platforms.
PlayStation's, the Xboxes, Switch 2, PC, Steam, EGS, and am I forgetting one? No, I think that's it.
And Game Pass as well, correct?
Game Pass too.
That's fantastic. Nice. That's fantastic. Yeah. So I mean,
and it's
it really
$20.
is.
And it is
$20.
$20.
That's right. Yeah.
$20 US dollars.
We definitely recommend checking it out.
Yes.
Lucy and I have both played through it. Jake's still working through it right now.
Chipping away.
It's lovely. It's wonderful. It's just, you can tell how much like soul has been poured into it, and soundtrack is incredible. I'm so jealous.
That's Good by Devo is my most listened to song of the year, by the way. Okay. So Johnny, that's on you.
That's all I wanted. That's all I want from this game. Is for more people to listen to Devo.
We've got two
this
KPIs.
huge psyops.
Yes.
My big psyop to get people to listen to Devo is that finally coming to fruition.
You have two KPIs for this game. It's someone saying that, Lucy, and then also someone seeing a comment on a Devo video on YouTube saying Mixtape sent me here.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's-
yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, that's the two KPIs. So we're
Anyone listening to this after playing
Yeah.
Mixtape, that type of thing? Yeah.
Mixtape brought me here.
Head over.
Yep. Well, look, gents, thank you so much for joining us. Really do appreciate it. We'll let you get back because we're sure you'll have lots to do in the next 11 hours.
Yeah. Yep.
Good luck with that.
A lot of spewing.
We look forward to chatting sometime in the future.
Yes.
Thanks,
Peace.
Thanks, guys.
And we're back from the interview. We actually didn't leave in the eyes of the viewer, did we?
We had a little wipe. No, there'd be a wipe. It'd be like
Yeah.
little theme song wipe. So then,
Like
we're
if
back.
you were a baby that didn't have object permanence, you'd maybe be afraid.
Some adults don't have object permanence either. Come on, let's be real.
Yeah,
No one's ever really gone.
Some of them are in pretty important positions.
No one's ever really gone, as long as you still remember their name. I'm just gonna move us along. Let's talk about Mixtape.
Jesus.
I don't know. I'm in a weird mood. It's really warm over here, and I'm wearing a cardigan, and I shouldn't be, but it looks nice. Anyway, Mixtape.
Yeah.
So
Quite an
I've
experience.
I've played it all the way through. Ralph has also played it all the way through. Jake, you are still in the opening.
Yeah, I'm in the early. I just got past the shopping cart sequence. No spoilers.
Okay. Oh yeah. So yeah. you're
So
quite
I'm
early
still
on.
just getting the feel for it. But just off the cuff, the music, obviously,
S tier.
very
Incredible.
well done. Incredible use, great songs, and not just obvious like the most famous Devo
For sure.
song type pick, the most famous X song. Like, and I did actually, the nostalgia kind of worked on me, especially because I didn't know what I was getting into. I thought it was like an 80s game, but it's way more of a 90s game.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
it clicked with me as soon as I saw the bedroom. At the kid's bedroom, I was like, oh, I remember those. Like when a bedroom like felt like that. So like the nostalgia stuff is working for me. The jokes, the characters. It seems pretty. It's like a light, fun romp.
It is.
But art style. Whew,
Yeah.
damn, that opening.
It's really nice because they've actually got kind of, I'm not going to, photorealistic is kind of a heavy term, but like they're obviously kind of realistic style backgrounds. In particular, later on, like some of the forestry areas, they're like, it looks pretty real. It's like they've really done a great job in terms of the amount of detail they've got. But then they've kind of overlaid these very stylized characters onto them. So it creates this beautiful contrast where the characters are really just, like they're just so forefronted, which is not
And they've
a
got
word,
that
but
Spider-Verse frame
kind of
rate, like that
exactly.
animation frame rate. It's cool.
Yep. And I like the voice performances as well because obviously they're quite hammed up. They're sort of like, people playing, people playing teenagers rather than actual teenagers, and they've got that kind of like affect, and I don't know. They just really, I think there's a very comedic spin to this whole thing. You know what I mean? And it works
They're annoying,
really well,
right? Like they're charming, but they're like kind of like snobbish and like they're like, because I remember being like that, like kind of
I
this
was
air of like
100% that kid.
yes, and that because I went into the game being like, am I gonna like this? Like I don't know, like what. Even when we talked about it a couple weeks ago, I was like, I don't know about this one. But now that I've heard the characters talk and I like, get the tone they're going for, I'm like, oh, okay, all right, cool.
Yeah. I think the thing that I love the most about Mixtape is that despite not growing up in America or, necessarily having to get to the big final party or anything on the last day of school, is that there were moments with me that I resonated with despite not having experienced them myself, which there's probably a German word for that, like reminiscing something that you didn't actually experience. But there was the field moment that Johnny mentioned in our interview was like a really big one for me because it's like I remember that exact feeling. I remember that feeling of my life is going to change, or I feel like I'm floating on air because of this thing. I remember like first kiss stuff, and it was just all of these ephemeral moments that drew together. And I'm also I'm a person who I massively attach songs to moments in my life. And so, I remember playing Okami and listening to Cold Brains by Beck. Like in one, like I just have that very intense attachment and moment, like a flashbulb memory, I suppose. And I think that's where Mixtape for me really excels in those capturing the feeling of what it was like when things felt so much bigger than they really were. Like a friend moving away, or like a big plan getting upended is the end of the world to you. Whereas then you become an adult and you're like, oh shit, taxes, and I need a job, and I need to do XYZ, and I'm having a kid, and you know, like, I miss being carefree. I've said this before. It's like I miss when my world was small, and I think Mixtape really, really captures the feeling of when your world was small, and it made me very nostalgic.
Definitely. I agree for sure. No, I think it really excels in that aspect. It's sort of, I would say it's quite a it's a rose tinted view of youth, and it's sort of very like nostalgia led rather than being a sort of, I think first of all, I really enjoyed this. Like, I think it's great. I really had a wonderful time playing through. It's about 4 hours long, by the way. So it's also quite snackable, if you know what I mean. Like, you just sort of, I did it in 2 sessions, and it was just beautiful for that. But I think the one thing that I didn't quite get from it, that I was kind of hoping for a little more, was just like, I don't know. I think that period of youth, there's a lot of pain and angst and confusion in that chapter of life. And I feel like these coming of age stories, or these like one last night together stories, like, I feel like it's hard to really celebrate that kind of like the joyful aspect without also acknowledging some of that pain and that angst and confusion. And I think the game sort of doesn't go in that direction at all, really. Like, it tries to a little bit, you know, it tries to do like there's some tension between some of the whatever, like some of the characters about this or that. And obviously it's intentional that that tension is smaller, but it's sort of made to feel bigger because that's what it is to be a teenager and what have you. But it just, I don't know. I just feel like I definitely look back on like those sort of like, I don't know, Breakfast Club and Reality Bites and, you know, like High Fidelity, which obviously is not a teenage thing, but like Gen X kind of stuff. And I don't know. I think that they made me feel a lot more like, oh, I felt transported in those when I was watching that stuff, because I'm like, oh yeah, that's what being young was about. Like that pain, like those highs and lows. And I think that Mixtape spends a lot of time on the highs, and because it doesn't really spend much time on the lows, I don't feel myself as kind of like transported by it and like as connected to its narrative and its characters. But it was really interesting to hear Johnny explain, like, this is about loving music, and it's about being part of a culture of like enjoying things and being passionate about things and whatever else. It's a very joyful spin on the youth, on like what it means to be young. And that's true. And I really appreciated it for that. But I guess I also feel like I can't quite fully connect with that joy without a little bit more of that sadness as well.
The sad.
A little bit, just a little bit more than I think Mixtape was serving up. So how did you feel about that?
I think I understand where you are coming from. I think maybe I'm in a part of my life right now where I have completely romanticized my teenage years.
Sure.
Although at the same time, I fully recognize that sometimes I will say something about my teenage years and people will go, that's not okay.
Anytime you mention Lucy Law, we're like,
have you spoken to a therapist about that? So I think for me, just as where I am in life right now, is that especially I wonder if it is because I also have like the dual life thing where it's I have a life in America and I have a life back home. And for me, whenever I go home and I get to visit my friends, we are so guilty of doing this, is that we only talk about those mixtape moments when we did something stupid, or oh my God, you remember we used to get in someone's car and we would drive to here? Like, those moments that were so epic as a teenager are still the things that we talk about 20 some years later. And so maybe that's just because of who me and my friends are. But even I when I was back in the UK a couple of weeks ago, I was with my friend Hannah and we were just like, oh my God, do you remember her? Oh my God, remember we did this thing? And yeah, that's, I think I'm in the rose tinted part of my looking back at my childhood.
No, that's it. And I think that's certainly what I observed as I was playing through Mixtape. I was like, it is that memory. It is that kind of like the rough edges of teenage years smoothed away, and like that sort of that rose tinted view of that chapter of life. And it's sort of like, to me, it struck as a kind of like a fairy tale. You know, it has this color palette that what's.
Can I say something? So I mentioned in that interview that I interviewed Johnny back in February, and I was writing it up for Gamespot. You can read it on Gamespot. I think it's up now. And he mentioned, I said, why did you set it in this kind of California, Portland? And he was like, well, I didn't go to America until I was like 32. But by then to him, it was like such a bizarre place. And so he said he approached writing Mixtape as kind of like a fairy tale. And where would you set a fairy tale other than California? So that's why. California, Portland. I guess to someone who's like,
yeah, it's giving like Seattle Northwest, kind of like.
I think it has.
Give it Oregon.
It does have like Pacific Northwest in the summer kind of vibes. And because in my review I kind of described it as like a suburban American fairy tale. You know, it's sort of god rays, and they have like a little secret little spot in the woods, a house in the woods where they could party that no one else knows about, and like
that is a thing. That's such a real thing.
Sure. But what I'm saying is that like the presentation of it is is very idyllic, and I think as well that the pain that the characters face is not really. There's not a lot of it. Like they sort of. They're not that angsty, like the kids are all they're all pretty fully formed, and they're like, they're annoying, like I judge you based on your music, but like she's also pretty clear on who she is and what she wants to do and whatever else. Yeah, so like I don't know, that part of it I as I said, I appreciated that dreamy quality to it. But I was also just looking for a little bit on the flip side, just a little bit, to really make me go. Just sort of stop me in my tracks and really make me feel.
Punch you in that gut.
Exactly. I just think that like when it comes to remembering youth, I think a lot of it for me was like the punch in the gut. You know what I mean? And I think about those sorts of like stories that really got to me and all that helped me transport me back to that. And they all have that sort of thing. So yeah.
I think I just like the way they make experiences, specifically on the art side. I loved Artful Escape for it told a story, and there was very, very cool elements to the story, also how it was kind of told and how they built out the lore around the musician and stuff like that. But I really liked it for the visuals and just like kind of like the weird trip it puts you on. And what I like about this so far is the use of like mixed mediums and stuff like that, like a lot of very different creative scene transitions, use of live action footage, hard cuts to little bits, and I think the bits actually like work, because I feel like comedy and just like lighthearted chuckle worthy stuff sometimes is really hard to do in video games,
definitely,
especially when you're bouncing around so much between like different presentation styles. But it's cool, and it's like it kind of reaffirms like why I like what they make.
Definitely. So I definitely recommend it. I mean, I think it's just a.
You got a video
game.
coming out?
I do. Yeah, I'm gonna review it. Cool. And I definitely recommend it. And I think it's lovely and beautiful. It's so well made, and the soundtrack is incredible. And as I said, it's like $20, like 4 hours long. It's on Game Pass as well. It's a really worthwhile way to spend a couple of hours. I would say that for sure. And I think it definitely got me thinking about. I would say this as well. Like, while Mixtape didn't necessarily like hit me in the feels as much as I wanted it to, it got me thinking about things. It got me thinking about that time of life. It got me thinking about being in a blockbuster. It got me thinking about how different things are today, when like we don't listen to the radio anymore, and like it got me thinking about that sort of stuff. It prompted interesting recollections and introspections, and I really appreciate it for that, because very few games are able to elicit that. So yeah.
Now we need a hip hop version for me.
For
and like maybe an emo version or like a punk rock version too. Like
mine would just be like a dirty EDM version. What would it be? Yeah.
Good stuff.
Should we go to use a question? You can email us at contact@friendspersecond.com. This one is from Shabab. Hey FPS team, huge fan and enjoyer of the show. I've been watching you guys since the first episode, so I've been thinking about this question ever since the question first came up, and I came up with what seems like a catchy name. Oh, sorry. The subject line for this was another name for friend slop.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Sorry, so that's the question they're referring to. And I came up with what seems like a catchy name, Chill Sim. Name speaks for itself, so I won't go explaining it. I love that.
Okay, Chill Sim.
I like it.
How do you do it?
I like it. I remember Lucy had like a really busted out with a really good one at the end of the discussion. What was it you said? Oh man, someone in the comments is probably
you're always good with that.
And we were like, what? That's what it should be called. Of course it should.
Right out of her. Yeah.
Sorry, the brilliance. It just I genuinely don't remember.
Fleeting brilliance.
No, but Chill Steam is also good. Personally, I still think Friend Slop is unbeaten. Personally,
Friend 'em up.
I think that was one with Friend 'em up. Yeah,
something similar.
Yeah, something like that. But it was very good. Maybe that was another one that you also
friends per slopping.
No,
sorry.
Wow.
Slop 'em up.
That sounds terrible. Sell that in a paper bag.
The question is, what is your greatest pet peeve in any video game? For me personally, it's when there is a story inconsistency. I can personally forgive everything, pretty much anything, be it performance, gameplay issues, but I can't forgive story inconsistencies, especially in long-running series. And then kind of goes on a little bit about that. But also says, I want to suggest a game to people who aren't into games but want to be. It's always going to be Grease. Gris. Grease.
Of course.
Good recommend.
Yeah. The game is so simple, great music,
game.
no dialogue, not story heavy, yet it speaks and makes you feel volumes. Don't need a backstory, don't need much gameplay knowledge, there's no stress, very light yet intriguing, enough puzzles. Love your show, keep up the great work.
I still listen to the soundtrack of that very regularly, actually. It's a really beautiful soundtrack.
So greatest pet peeve in gaming.
I got 3.
I do appreciate they mentioned like they can forgive
Larry David
things.
over here.
They can forgive things like they wrote they can forgive things like performance. Like I know people that with performance, like I think a game will perform fine, and then I'll talk to someone else and they'll be like, no, it actually dropped like a frame here and there. I refunded it, and I'm like, okay.
JK's Digital Foundry, you heard it here first. That's what I'm saying.
For me, it's like small things. Honestly, it's the walk and talk. And it's walk and talk where you have to manage your speed and you can blast walking past that person that you have to walk and talk with. Like, and some games, a lot of games have fixed it, but then every so often there's still games that just don't. And it's annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay.
That's annoying.
I'm adding that to my list now.
Go on, Lose 3. Jesus.
Okay. Number 1, I hated the trend when all the big studios were doing the Marvel Studios intros. BioWare, Xbox, PlayStation, looking at you. It gives me the ick. I'm sorry.
They're still doing it. What are you talking about?
I know.
What do you mean Marvel Studios intro?
Like they have their own ripoff of the Marvel Studios. Like here's all our characters. Yes.
Nice. Damn, I want to watch Captain America now.
Okay, so that's 1. Number 2. Do not have the press button to skip on the entirety of a cutscene. I think it undermines whatever story that you are telling.
It's rude.
It is rude.
It's rude.
You should only have it pop up if you like knock the controller or press a button, and then you can see, oh, I do have the option to skip this. That's fine. Shit, what was my 3rd one? Voiceover inconsistencies with how character and place names are pronounced.
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's pretty rare these days.
It's rarer these days, but there are some instances where Persona 5, on and an, and Takamaki or Takamaki. Oh, hang on. Let's cut that.
You're going to get cancelled for that shit.
Well, it is
cutting.
It is on Takamaki.
Okay.
But I swear it's like and Takamaki or something. Like there's different ways of saying it, at least by the actors, and it's like that is the job of that is someone's job to make
That's
sure
true. No, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, done.
Okay. I would just say encumbrance in general in video games. Just we've been through this. We've spoken about this in the past. But just delete it, please. Just delete it. You know, I'm happy with something.
Of code.
I'm happy with practical limits, sure, but you know, I think many games just it's impractical and it's annoying and it sucks and it just makes me hate your game. Well, not hate your game, but certainly like it makes me like it way less. So, yeah.
That's it. Thank you for your question.
Yeah,
really enjoyed it.
We could do a whole episode on that. Honestly,
I think we have done so. we have.
Little pet peeve things.
Yep.
Yeah, there's so
Yep.
many. They stack.
Yep.
You know what really grinds my gears? No. I'm not bringing back a family joke in the year of our Lord 2026.
Yeah, referencing Family Guy. Damn.
Let's go into more of what we've been playing, but first a quick word from our sponsor.
What's the Zelda song goes? This is the sponsor of this video, Raycon Everyday Earbuds. You like that, Lucy? You don't seem impressed.
Well, it's essential open earbuds.
That's what I said. I said it's the essential open earbuds. Okay, I always get that wrong. But the point is, I'm a user of these, okay? I may get the name wrong, but I'm using them every day. It's every day, bro. Because they're a fantastic product. Raycon open earbuds. They're, as you can see from the design, very different to a traditional earbud because they actually don't go into your ear. They go on top of it and they clip around really tightly. I use them. Hey, Jake's demoing them right now. My lovely assistant.
Look at
Jake,
that,
there we go. Boom. And they sit on top of your ear. They're super comfortable. They do not come out no matter what. Playing tennis. I do jump rope with these things as well. That's the thing I've been doing lately, by the way.
Jump rope.
Don't get me started on the jump rope chat. Don't worry, we'll go there one day. But they stay in no matter what because of the way they wrap around your ear. And also it's good because you can hear what's going on around you. And that's another thing when I'm like out walking and because I walk on the street and like some of my area doesn't have like footpaths. So I need to like walk on the road at times. And if I'm in full noise cancelling headphones, like I can't really hear when cars are coming or whatever. So like having that is really great. And battery life is really good. Sound quality is great. I'm just extremely happy with them. From my like whenever I'm doing active stuff, I have these with me and I really love them.
Yeah, me too. These are the go-to. Absolutely good for outdoor work, exercise. Raycon has over 3 million customers. These all get good reviews. And I think it's also because they have all the features you want, but, you know, better price versus the premium wireless audio brands.
The Essential Open Earbuds are the perfect addition to your everyday routine. So go to buyraycon.com/friendsopen. You get 15% off. That is buyraycon.com/friendsopen to get 15% off. Thank you so much to Raycon for sponsoring this episode.
Picture this. You're coming home from work. You don't want to cook, or you want to cook, but you don't want to think about it. That's where the sponsor of this podcast, HelloFresh, comes in. They make it easy, shipped right to your door. Great recipes, good ingredients. You can whip up a real, proper, actual meal, and they take all the fuss and thinking out of it, and it has been great. It has been feeding us, right? It's been feeding you, Lucy.
I need us to actually stop talking about it because my mouth is literally watering just thinking about the Thai coconut pork meatballs with the sweet rice and the green beans. No, I'm kidding. I'm really hungry, and now just talking about it is making me want to go to my kitchen and cook up a HelloFresh. Honestly, I've talked about this before. I used to really struggle with like feeling confident in the kitchen, but HelloFresh really makes it easy. It makes it effortless. Like it just puts everything together for you. In the box, you just get all the ingredients out. It has really great, clear instructions. Teaches you a lot of confidence and useful kitchen skills. And hey, if you use HelloFresh, no 2 meals are going to be the same. There are over 80 global recipes that you can choose from every month, including Vietnamese, Moroccan, Caribbean, and more, including like unique ingredients they might not reach for when you're at the supermarket. So gochujang, curry paste, lemongrass, still watering. And so yeah, you can just have that in your home. You don't have to get takeaway. You can just cook it.
Yeah, and you know what I like about it is that also because like they send you the ingredients, they send you the portions of ingredients, so you don't worry about like buying too much at the grocery store, or you don't get around to it, you don't use it all, it goes bad. It all showing up conveniently in a box really works. Plus, the bonus fact that you might also get exposed to flavors you otherwise wouldn't, like gochujang is incredible. Maybe you haven't had that before. HelloFresh is going to send it to you, and you're probably going to like it.
You're gonna like it. So go to HelloFresh.com/FPS10FM now to get 10 free meals and a free breakfast for life. Now, there is one per box with an active subscription. Free meals are applied as a discount on the first box. New subscribers only, and it obviously varies by plan. That's HelloFresh.com/FPS10FM to get 10 free meals and free breakfast for life. Nothing hits like home cooking. Thank you so much to HelloFresh for sponsoring this episode. All right, we're back with what we've been playing. Jake, I want to come to you first. You played 007 First Light.
I'm so excited to hear about this.
Yeah, I played a preview. At a preview event, I got to play just over 3 hours of the game. I got to play what was essentially like the intro mission, setting up Bond as a military serviceman, stumbling into a botched mission and getting linked up with MI6. Then I got to play this whole MI6 training sequence where you kind of learn about his colleagues and you get to like walk through some of the gameplay concepts. And then I got to do like a full ass mission, which kind of shows the general pacing structure of the game. And
was it the same mission that they showed at Gamescom last year?
It was Kensington, and it was an art museum gala.
Yes. Then I think it is.
So it's I haven't come away from a preview in a while being like, damn. But
really,
I really had a good time.
Okay, cool.
Shout out to our friend of the show, Nakey Jakey, who was there.
Nice.
I walked up to him afterwards and I was like, was that fucking really good? Like, so I think I was just surprised how fun the hand-to-hand combat and the third-person shooting is. It just feels good, and it's really fun, and there's enough to it that it can be kind of expressive. Hand-to-hand combat's like a step above Uncharted. It's a little less button mashy, but there's so much contextual nature to it where you're throwing a guy over a table, then the guy gets stunned on the table, then you can punch him while he's laying on the table, you can grab him, you can run with him and throw him into a glass window, you can toss a guy over here, and all while parrying, doing finishing moves, stuff like that, grabbing stuff kind of Last of Us style and doing a quick throw. So you're throwing a plate at a guy, you're running up, you're grabbing him, you're punching him. But then the mix of this kind of surprising mix of Batman Arkham Watch Dogs gadgetry that really worked, where you're constantly clicking on things, you're constantly activating things, breaking things, using things for trickery, to the point where there is a boss battle against like a very classic style Bond henchman who's hunting you down in a room, and it's basically the Batman Arkham City Mr. Freeze boss battle.
Shut up.
And it's just,
that's good.
Which of your Bond watch tricks can you use on this guy once and get away with it? And like, you know, I was like, oh, we're doing this. All right, hell yeah, cool.
I thought I saw Dell like tweet that like quote tweet you saying that, you know, that actually like the Arkham Combat person was working on this game and that's why it's like that. Did you see that?
I appreciated him kind of like giving me props for that, because when I compare it to Arkham, I mean more the gadgetry side and also just kind of like this good feel and slight kind of player expression to combat. Not necessarily just like people say, oh, it's like Arkham because it's like you can press triangle to counter, and I don't mean that. What really made it click for me in terms of combat was I got to play a whole sequence, kind of like a very John Wick sequence, where you're in this museum exhibit. It's a big arena with LED panels everywhere and complex museum exhibits that are like animatronic and shit like that. And you go in, you have no weapons, and on the other side of the room, a bunch of like tactical SWAT team guy busts in. So you have all these flashing lights, you have all these museum exhibits, and you also have all these things you can take advantage of. You can hack the screens to temporarily blind guys. You can drop lights from the scaffoldings with your little laser watch. If you snap you can trigger museum exhibits. You can blow up fire extinguishers to make smoke everywhere. So you kind of become this like elite badass where you're running around, knocking one guy out, picking up his gun, Uncharted style, where he kicks up the gun and you keep running. You only have 8 bullets in the gun, so you fire those shots, you run out, then you throw the gun at another guy, you run up to that guy, you grab that guy, you throw him into an LED screen, and it zaps him, and there's one frame where you see the guy's skeleton, and it's hilarious. So it's got that camp.
So is this all like on rails, like as you're doing this, or like is this?
So I'll get to that. Yeah. So so just to finish my point there, what I liked is that I played it again on hard mode. I got to play that arena encounter on hard mode where I had to really maximize and use everything, and it felt good. The only issue is like in hand-to-hand stuff, like it does kind of have the thing where other enemies will just stand there and look at you while you're punching a guy. But hopefully that can get sorted out. So structurally, it kind of works as like Hitman Light mixed with Watch Dogs, where you're put into kind of social stealth areas where things are going on. So I was in this big gala party, and I got to walk around and kind of listen out for ways to get upstairs. Upstairs is blocked by security. So I hear somebody who is waiting for a journalist to show up. So I can walk up and impersonate that journalist and try and choose the right dialogue option to then get a press pass upstairs and get up there. Then you hear another opportunity where it's like a guard is late for work. So it's like Hitman, where it presents those opportunities to you. And that's kind of where you are free to kind of take your time and explore and tinker and mess with, like, do I make that guy sick with a poison dart? Do I pickpocket this guy? Do I go in a trespassing zone and try and just sneak my way through? That's where there's a lot of creativity. And essentially it's those types of areas that it seems like are going to then funnel you in to more on rails, cinematic, uncharted third person shootouts or big chase scenes and stuff like that. And in terms of pacing, I think it worked really well because of just how they've got the presentation. I got to do a sequence where it was like a very linear like action sequence where you're like running out of a building and like a sniper is shooting at you and you need to like jump across the rooftops and, you know, trigger a light to blind the sniper and then get up and get in a fist fight with him. And it's very cinematic. And then he's in an alleyway and he takes out his phone and he calls Moneypenny and she's like, what do you want? Like classic Bond. She's like, I'm busy right now. And he's like, I need you to get me a location. And she goes, okay, just send me the data. And then boom, hard cut to him walking to the location that she gave him. And you walk into this party. So it's got a lot of really good pacing stuff. I'm just curious if they can keep that momentum for the whole game because obviously I got to play a slice and it was a really good slice. So I just hope that they can stick it out through the whole game.
So I know you did the training mission at the beginning. My question would be like, that's the kind of shit I would expect from James Bond years into his career. Is there still a feel, or maybe they handle it with the narrative, that he is still very much a young agent?
That's interesting. So from what I got, it's like very much he's already awesome. Like he's already pretty slick.
Sure.
We've seen, so the opening mission that I got to see, you know, you get to see him like kill his first person and he's kind of like, oh man. But like, other than that, he's still slick. He's still quipping. He's still very capable. But there were little story moments here and there where they kind of lean into it. Yeah. But I think it's at the very least a good entry point for people who maybe aren't that interested in Bond because he is getting in and experiencing all this stuff for the first time. So it's like, oh, what is Q? Who is Moneypenny? Who is M? Like, what is going on here? So it has that, but then it has a lot of weird little fun Bond things. Like it has product placement.
License to Kill.
It has a license to kill. It has good product placement. Like there's only a couple of games where that shit can actually work.
Resident Evil Porsche.
Resident Evil Porsche, hell yeah, and James Bond.
Yeah.
It has you know, it has like you can, when you're walking around that social area and you're trying to like find leads and stuff, you can literally just click on women and they're like, hello. Who are you? And he's like, sorry, love, not right now. Like, and it's like, so it's like,
women.
Click on women.
So it is a Bond game.
The new dating trend taking over England.
Clicking on
women.
Yeah, so it's got that. It's got little touches. Like if you take slight damage behind cover and you like walk away, you'll see him kind of go and just brush his shoulder off like a cool guy. Nice. If you look in reflections, like if you walk past a mirror and you face the mirror, he's locked it. Like he's looking at himself in the mirror.
Is he doing
like,
these
I haven't seen a video. He'll do like a Rizzler. Like he'll do
Sure. Nice.
So yeah, so far, very cool. I'm excited to see the whole game. Again, I haven't seen a lot of driving. The one driving sequence I got to do was heavily on rails. Okay. It was fun. It was cinematic. The music cues, the AAA visual effects. But yeah, I'm curious to see how the driving actually is in bigger sequences, if they can keep that momentum. I didn't get to see too much progression and like gadget progression or character progression. So yeah, still have some questions, but I had a lot of fun.
I am very excited about it.
I read quite, I saw some previews. Most of them were very positive. Some of them were more critical though. Like, I think PC Gamer was basically like, you know, it's sort of showcasing the risks or like the weaknesses of IO. Did you
was that the one that was that? No, was that the preview about? I saw one getting dunked on about. I don't want to be cool.
No, that was a different one. That was a weird headline. That was a weird thesis. Anyway, this one was more about just like, you know, it is sort of more Uncharted-y, and it's sort of, I guess what I'm asking is, like, did you enjoyed it overall, but what were the things that you're sort of more worried about?
I think if people are hardcore Hitman and expecting this to be Hitman with Bond, I think it's very Hitman light.
Okay.
Like it has a little bit of that feel, even down to like the pace of his walk, the cadence, like the way the camera is positioned, the UI, like it has a lot of that. But the stealth is simpler, enemies are dumber, and you don't have to worry about hiding bodies or tailing a guy to steal his clothes. Like it's much simpler. It's much more pared down. So as a long time, like a fan of IO Interactive from day one, literally day one, I do feel like as much as they've had a really good track record of making cool characters, cool moments, the storytelling has kind of always been kind of up and down. So I went in kind of like, let's see how they do here. And storytelling wise, so far, I like what they're doing. But again, I'm curious to see if they can actually stick it out for the full game.
Cool. Okay. Yeah. Well, I think it looks cool. I'm excited. It's just nice to see. What is the last James Bond game?
Over a decade ago.
Was it the
no hesitation with that?
Yeah, we had the Daniel Craig one where they tried to insert Daniel Craig into all the Bloodstone was a banger and nobody played that. That was a third person, just standalone Daniel Craig adventure. There was the other one where they tried to insert Daniel Craig into all the other Bonds.
There was a GoldenEye remake. Like
Yeah,
they
the
remade
I forgot what it was
GoldenEye.
called.
I reckon the last Bond one I
360.
played was like Nightfire.
Oh, Nightfire is.
Yeah.
That
was a long time ago.
That's a
Nightfire.
long
That's
time ago.
PS2. That's
Yeah. I mean,
That was
that's the last
essentially
time.
one of the follow-ups to GoldenEye.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. In that era where they're like, we'll just take it from here. Thanks, Rare. And
When
then,
I-
Nightfire
back in
had
the day-
such a great theme song too. Like had a
remember the
really
theme
good
song.
Bond theme song.
okay.
We used to call it, my friends and I used to call it Nightlife. Just
Why?
calling it James Bond 007 Nightlife.
Nightlife. Okay. Did you hear the theme song from Lana Del Rey?
Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah. It's all right.
It's alright.
That's like really harsh for Jake to say that, by the way. That means
That means
he absolutely hates it. Like he
No,
just
it's it's pretty
Great,
good.
Jake. Now we're gonna get Lana Del Rey on the podcast.
That's
Oh,
right.
Lana on
no,
the
you're gonna
pod,
get her
yeah.
husband on, that guy, that
the-
dude.
The Gator guy.
The Gator dude, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get him on, man. He seems cool.
I just hope the full game is as good as my very tight, small experience with it.
course.
Very much just regular old fashioned AAA bombastic cinematic game, but seemingly a good one with a little bit more meat on the bones.
Cool. Sounds good.
Right, Ralph, what about you? What you been playing?
So very briefly, we talked about Diablo before. I played a little bit more of that at launch as well. I also booted up Path of Exile.
How's that doing?
They're getting like new stuff later on, like next month, I think. I'm not exactly sure. They're launching a new league, I think. I'm so not connected to Path of Exile, but I just wanted to like feel it as a point of comparison. What do I remember of it from versus
interesting.
Diablo 2 and versus Diablo 4. And it definitely, as I was playing through it, it felt much smoother than the first time I played it. Like I was not encountering so much resistance, and loot was flowing more freely, and I felt like I was moving up the power curve much more effortlessly. Whereas when I first played it at launch, I was like, "Whoa, dude, come on now, like help me out a little bit here." You know what I mean? So I've really been enjoying it, and it really does also cement like the feel of it is just like magnificent. Like Diablo is very good for its like instantaneous quality and its simplicity, but there's like kind of a mechanical depth to PoE that really shines through when you start feeling it again, and you're like, oh, okay, I can see why this is a better game in many, many aspects. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I do plan to, return to the game when they launch their next big content drop, and check it out. So yeah, it's always been my plan to return to the game. And
Do you like it enough to get into the same cadence as you do with Diablo 4?
I think I need to understand if it's possible, right? Because the thing about the cadence of Diablo 4, what's so wonderful about it is that like it's so easy just to drop in and smash out a season, and you make so much progress. It's super fast, super easy. like not mentally taxing. It's just click, 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 and you're happy and done, right? If PoE can offer me something like that, great. Now, I'm not expecting PoE to become like Diablo 4. That's not what I'm asking for, right? Because obviously it's a totally different experience. But if I can feel like I can step into it and make some progress and, you know, without really needing to grind it hard or whatever, then yeah, I'd love to play more of it, to be honest with you, because I find so many aspects of it so appealing. So really nice to step back into that. The other thing I step back into is I am replaying Black Flag, the original.
Excellent.
I was like, what intervention are we setting up now?
No, there's no embargo, no fifth playthrough of Silk Song. It's crazy how well this game holds up, man. It's crazy.
My favorite AC.
It's everyone's favorite AC, man. Like everyone's like, oh, actually, no. Black Flag is the best one. It's as simple as that. There's honestly no comparison. It's incredible. You're playing through it and you're just like, I just can't believe that they did this back in 2013. Like
Crazy pivot.
You're looking at a game that's like one of the progenitors of like the sort of like open world style template that then, because this was like 2 years before The Witcher. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And obviously, I'm not saying it's the only one, because obviously we had Red Dead and we had, I don't know, other shit. Like obviously,
it was building off of like Far Cry 3 and like how they kind of set that up.
And like sort of Far Cry 2, but that was more systemic. And then obviously you had Morrowind back in the day. I get all that, right? But I'm just talking about like an open world template that came to sort of define like the, you know, the 8th generation of consoles. Yeah. It really feels like Black Flag was like a big part of that template, you know? What I have forgotten, because it's been so long since I played it, right? Modern open world games are very much defined by their open world structure. They're all about just being in that open world, and it's like the gameplay is just going through the open world and doing some whatever. But Black Flag is very much like a set of very curated missions that force you to do curated specific things, sometimes involving unique mechanics that don't appear in other missions or whatever, or like remixing gameplay systems in interesting ways. The core of the game are those missions. The open world sits around it as a fairly like optional element that you can do if you want to, but the core of it is that. Yeah. And that is so fantastic. And it feels like just great in this, like playing through it again. I'm so excited to get into those missions because I'm like, oh, what have you got in store for me now? You know, where I'm like trailing a pirate ship through a swampy bayou. You know what I mean? Or I'm like trying to, you know, like take down plantation runners before like take down all the alarms in a plantation before anyone spots me and all this sort of stuff. Just like all of that. It's so clever, you know, and it's beautiful as well. Like even to this day, you know,
the color palette is insane.
Color palette is so good, and I'm playing it at 4K like max settings on PC, and it just runs beautifully. It looks great. But
any mods?
No mods. I'm just running it stock, just vanilla. You know, just raw dogging it.
Edward,
just
like,
raw dogging
big
it.
Naturals or something.
I'd buy that for $1. But the standout though is the writing and the performances. Like I'm playing through it and I'm just like, I can't believe Ubisoft made this game. I can't believe it. It's totally different, impossible era where like the story of this game is fantastic, and the way that it's written, the moment to moment writing is so crisp, and like the performances. Oh my god, the performances! Unbelievable.
I also get Ralph Ineson's in it.
Yes, he is. Yeah. He absolutely. Matt Ryan as Kenway is just so charismatic.
He's what I remember the most. The story didn't stick with me, but he stuck with me.
Oh, absolutely. Because he's such a shitty dude, really. Like, he's kind of a shitty dude.
How he stumbles into being an assassin is, like, very unique.
Yeah, but also he's a shitty dude a lot of the way through the game as well. It's not like he just pivots and whatever. Like, he's kind of got some bad tendencies and some bad, like, codes that he lives by. And just, I don't know. But then at the same time, there's something redeeming about him. And... oh man, James Kidd as well, like that character and how well that done.
That's
that
right.
is.
I forgot.
So
he was
good.
Yeah. Blackbeard.
Blackbeard, man. Blackbeard has some scenes. Like he's
like what, Mary Kenny?
Yeah, Mary Kay. Yeah, that's right. Exactly. Yeah. But yeah, man, it's just a really, really, really fantastic game, and I am playing it in preparation for the as I said, it's at July 9th, I think, is when it's out. The Resynced is out.
Yeah.
But honestly, man, look, here's what I think. I was in my head canon and I was like, oh, okay, cool. They're remaking it because you need to remake it. And I'm like, now I'm playing through it. I'm like, nah, it's
pretty solid.
It's pretty solid, man. Combat is not good for sure. Absolutely. Right. That's really the only thing that I would look at and actively like change in a big way. Like the people will say like the escort missions, and you're like, dude, they're fine. It's all good. Like there's not that many.
Could use
of
a little
them.
more, you know?
I mean,
a lot of
the
hiding in
stealth-
grasses and whistling.
Yeah, but like it's no different in modern AC games. In
That's
fact,
true.
it's way
It's
worse
true.
in modern AC games. You don't
which
even bother
says a
with
lot.
stealthing. You just kill everyone, you know?
Yeah.
Parkour is so much better in this than the modern games, though. The fact that you can't just
when-
scale
dude.
I
it
miss
Don't even
when
get me
parkour
started.
had restrictions. It made
sure.
it interesting.
way
Yes.
more interesting. Yeah, it's
Yes.
so much better here, absolutely. And just beautiful sort of the locomotion of him as well, like the weight transfer and all that sort of stuff is so great. Look, it's really magnificent game, and it just feels like Ubisoft touched the face of God when they made this thing. And it's like
It's one of the best. It's like I think it's the best pirate game ever made.
oh
That's
yeah.
the free game ever made. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's truly generational. And as I said, look, I think if you want to wait for restings, you certainly can. And maybe it's better to do that because, you know, I don't imagine they are going to change all that much here. They're going to change the paint job. They're going to add better combat, and they're going to touch up a few things here and there. They're adding some new content though as well, which is I'm kind of interested in, like
I
new
wanna see that,
storylines. Yeah,
But the multiplayer is also not there. And I actually really enjoyed AC4 multiplayer.
it was fun.
I played a lot of it.
A lot
don't
is a
know
big.
why.
Really,
I
who
don't
played a
know why.
lot?
I got really
yeah.
into it.
Okay. But I would say that if you want to step back into AC today, like you should just do that. Like you can, like if you want to play Black Flag right now, you're going to have a great time with it. It really.
I played some of it on Steam Deck a couple of months ago. Like,
Yeah.
it's easy.
It's a really remarkable game.
How do you feel about the modern day stuff?
Do you know what? I also have thoughts about this.
All right,
Because-
let's go.
Yeah. Because okay, first of all, if anyone isn't familiar, like the modern day stuff, they've abandoned it now in the modern AC games, right? But it used to be this kind of the subtext was that like evil Templars were running this corporation Abstergo, and they were like strip mining people's DNA to like find clues for things that would help them find artifacts to control the world, and it was a big conspiracy thing. And you were kind of playing
It was aliens.
it was alien, it was all sorts of weird shit. Okay, right?
Well,
For
it
sure.
was those who came before. No, that's
Yes.
Expedition 33. It was like it's like Orange Box. It's
Isu.
like Juno.
Yeah.
Juno was in there.
Yeah.
So the thing is, I actually think it makes this game better to have the modern stuff
because of the way they do it is
I love
more
how they did it.
interesting.
exactly. It's a really
was-
go on, you go.
No, please go.
No, as I say, it's a well-told mystery. It does pull you out at little moments, and it does ask you to do some sort of like hacky stuff, and as in like to do some hacking of data or whatever. And
Well, it also it's like a quiet introduction of Watch Dogs as well. Like Watch Dogs,
A little bit of that?
The OS from that game is teased in this one.
sure,
Like I think
Yep.
there's references to Chicago and Aiden Pierce and whatever. So it's like a nice
yeah,
Shit.
last
meta
run up, yeah.
thing. Yeah.
But I think there's also just something in the idea that like the like, how do you say it? This historical simulation being a simulation as entertainment, as something you step into and out of. I actually think it works. I don't know why. I haven't really fully wrapped my head around it. I just know that like I think about the game differently when I know that it's not like real in inverted commas, and that it's being explored for this nefarious purpose, and I'm sort of an instrument of these like higher powers. And I like it, to be honest with you. I really do. I've found like a renewed appreciation for that modern day stuff. Whereas before
It's
I was
fun.
like, ugh, what are we doing? Now I'm like,
Yeah.
no, this is kind of clever and kind of interesting, and this is adding to it for sure, you know?
I think putting you in the shoes of the person who's doing it rather
Yes.
than Desmond
Desmond, yeah.
was really what made it stick out to me.
Yeah.
And also to your
Yeah.
point about it being used for entertainment is quite funny, because then in later ACs you would have the history tour.
Yes,
They
exactly.
Kind of then
Yeah,
meta
Origins
again. They
was
kind of
really
put that
good.
back in.
Correct.
I think it was an interesting moment in time because they had kind of finished the Desmond stuff and they kind of bungled it, and they had even struggled through that. And then they were trying these different things and they didn't know where to go with it. And I thought 4 was a good, fun spin on it.
I agree.
And I still think that as the franchise's identity, as much as it's always been like people ragged on it, but like it has always been a distinct part of the franchise's identity, where it almost had this fun spin on the Matrix kind of like dual reality thing. So totally it's interesting that they've kind of said for Resync that they're not really doing it, or they're doing it differently.
I think they were intimating that it's basically not happening. They said that the stories, that the modern day stuff will actually focus more on like Kenway's story or something, which we could imply means there's no modern day stuff at all, and they're kind of just replacing it with more Kenway stuff. Or maybe instead of being some kind of mystery involving the Templars, they're just kind of like, hey, you want to do some more deep dive stuff? Here's another simulation where you can go and hang out with your wife who thinks you're a boozy loser. You know what I mean? Like,
that's right.
So I don't know how they're going to play it, but I think that something will have been lost. And I'm also not a fan of them not doing the DLC. I think that if you're going to do this, you should do that DLC, particularly Freedom Cry. It was really cool.
Also, taking out the ability to fight with just the hidden blades as a combat style. Yeah. That's like peak.
Oh, is that
OG
taken out?
Assassin's
They're
Creed.
removing that.
They confirmed that that's not a thing.
Now.
You can crouch, but you can't just stand there and wait for a guy to come up to you and then you just put your hidden blade into his fucking skull.
Yeah.
That was
cool.
the best. Also, I don't know if they're doing the thing that most modern Assassin's Creed games do now, where you can't just run around and make your wrist blades come out for aura when you want to.
Yeah.
Oh.
What stepping away from that was the biggest mistake of the
That's where it all started to go downhill. That's right. That was the end. That was the beginning of the end for Ubisoft as a company, really.
Yeah, that's it.
So look, it's really amazing, and I just have loved it so much, and I thought to myself, oh, it's been a long time. I'm sure this is gonna be a bit clunky and a bit and as soon as I stepped into it, I'm like, no, this just feels like it was made. It's totally peak, and it just comes down to that writing, and I don't want to rag on like modern AC games.
We've done it enough.
I've done it enough, but like the vast gulf between the quality of writing between those games in the current era and this game here is just like impossible. It's cannot conceive of. Anyway, point is, Black Flag's very good. And
did you play Rogue?
I did not play Rogue. Oh, actually, yeah.
Which one's Rogue?
Rogue was that the sort of spin-offy one where you play as a Templar.
Yeah,
and it was on end of the PS3 era. And
he plays the Irish guy.
Yes,
Shay.
Okay.
Shay Cormac. I
forgot that game existed.
So I actually do plan to go and play that now. Because just because I feel like it.
Yeah, it's not quite as good, but I think the setting change is awesome, and they lean into it, and it's great.
No. So anyway, that's kind of all I've been. Actually, the other thing I've been playing, which we can reveal now, is Forza. We've got codes for Forza,
yet, but we can say that we have it.
We have a code for Forza, and we're playing it, and we can't say any more about it until the embargo is up. But yes, we're playing Forza, and
can confirm the cars go vroom
really fast. Some of them go really fast. Some of them less fast. So there you go. We'll reveal which ones are which later on.
Yeah. Please stay tuned. I haven't played much else. I've been playing a bit of Dead as Disco, actually. So I talked about this last year.
Yeah.
It was in it's released now. Like it basically had a really protracted demo period.
I love the demo. Yeah.
Yeah. So I haven't really played much beyond that because we started like a new thing. But Dead as Disco plays someone called Charlie Disco. It got really like it's just a. Bye, Ralph.
Hello?
He doesn't like disco. We'll just keep going. He'll message in literally 10 seconds saying internet died.
Australia internet.
Internet. But no, so Dead as Disco is you play someone called Charlie Disco, and it is Arkham Combat to the beat. The song that they've been using a lot in all the marketing and like in the demo is Maniac. So it's like she's a maniac. And it's really fun because I think the issues that I used to have with Arkham Combat is that like I would have to put the beat in my head, whereas with this it is beat of the song.
There is the beat. Yeah.
There is the beat. It's flashy. It's over the top. And one thing that I really love about it is that you can upload your own songs and make sure that the BPM matches, and then you can be, it's like side-loading Beat Saber or...
The YouTube videos are incredible. People have done so many already just with the demo.
Yes. So it's now fully released. It got like over 1 million wish lists, which is huge.
The power of a good idea.
Power of a really good idea, executed really well. I'm really interested to see how that translates to paid copies sold, because I feel like that demo is actually quite robust, and the fact that you could do the song uploader with it. So yeah, I've been playing a bit of Dead as Disco. And then
I want to know how the bosses are, and like how essentially that feels over the course of a whole game.
Yeah, the bosses. I played a couple of Gamescom last year, and I was like, damn, they are tough, but they are. It was really fun. And don't message me telling me to play Forbidden Solitaire. I have it downloaded. I just haven't had a chance to start it yet. But it seems like very much my shit. I think that's what we've been playing. So time for show and tell. We talk about something that's not a video game. Jake, you wanna go first?
Yeah, I've been actually pretty busy. What did I do? I saw a Jake Goes to the Theater again. I saw a stage play of Dog Day Afternoon. This is starring John Bernthal and Eben Moss-Backrack from The Bear. He's also Ben Grimm in New Fantastic Four. And it was really good. This is actually based on a Sidney Lumet movie from the 70s that I hadn't seen, but it's Al Pacino.
Al Pacino,
in like peak Al Pacino, like Godfather, Serpico, and it's just an interesting story. It definitely surprised me. I didn't see where it was going, but essentially it's like it's a bank robbery. It's like two Brooklyn guys rob like a little Chase bank.
I didn't
in the
know
70s.
It has Fredo in it as well.
Cazal, yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I can't wait to see the movie now, because I was like, oh man, this is great. Because like I like going into these like stage shows like totally blind.
Yeah.
Amanda and I, like a couple years back, were like, we live just outside New York City, and there's all these incredible plays going on. Why don't we just go sometimes? So yeah, so when tickets are at least at a decent price, it's good. So yeah, that was cool. That was definitely interesting. I also watched Devil Wears Prada 2.
Oh yeah.
I want to know all about it, because I love The Devil Wears Prada. I don't know. I think it's just a fun movie. I feel like it's, become very quotable. Yeah. Stood the test of time in a lot of ways. What do you think of the sequel? Did it feel like a cash grab?
So that's the thing, is that it's pretty good. But the bar is so low, because like, you know how like they've brought back so many things from the 2000s, like comedies or blah blah blah, like Meet the Parents or Zoolander 2 or whatever, and they're all dog shit.
Have you seen that Ariana Grande is going to be in the new Meet the Parents?
Yeah, I saw that.
So it's like they keep bringing those things back, and they feel half-assed and shitty. Devil Wears Prada 2 at least felt like it was done in earnest, and it was interesting. Like it kept me, paying attention. I had seen the first one a long time ago. And yeah, it was good. It was interesting how it was about like media consolidation and mass layoffs in media, and like the enshittification of media, and just like a lot of things. It was interesting. I just didn't go in expecting to get like smacked in the face. I was like, oh, Stanley Tucci's gonna be silly, and then it started to be kind of heavy, but it was a good time. And Lady Gaga's in it.
Nice.
Oh,
so she's always the best.
That might be a spoiler. I don't think that's a spoiler.
Whatever, man. I'm not gonna you ruined it. No. Fine. I'm more inclined to see it now that I know she's in it.
Yep.
And then last but certainly not least, I finished the new Daredevil season 2.
Is it good?
So Marvel finally got back on track where it feels on par with Netflix Daredevil. And I think ultimately it was very good.
Cool.
I think it's probably like some of the best performances from Vincent D'Onofrio as Kingpin.
Nice.
By far. Like he just managed to step it up somehow even more. Also, Bullseye is incredible in this show, and I feel so vindicated for all the years I kind of was like, actually, the Colin Farrell Bullseye is kind of cool. So he was great. The Matt Murdock stuff, I feel like they've already done so much with his character in the Netflix series that he felt kind of like just kind of along for the ride. Somewhat, I think some people would disagree with me, but it had a lot of good moments. The story was really interesting. It still feels really small. Like it felt like it was like, Kingpin's mayor of New York and there's all this stuff, but it felt very, very small and insular. But yeah, just in terms of like a good Kingpin story, I just really fucked with it. Also, nice. James Gandolfini's son, I forget his name. He's great. Yeah. He's really good. Cool. He plays this weird kind of like dork politician assistant incel guy. Okay. Where he's just kind of like sniveling and dorky and bro-y, and it was really good. Okay. I know some people were kind of ragging on him for the Sopranos
the
spinoff thing he did, the Saints of Newark. But I thought he was really good in this, and I hope to see him in more things. Yeah. That's what I got.
That's cool. Well, it's funny you mentioned like Devil Wears Prada, because like obviously that's like media ownership and whatever. Because I watched Vanilla Sky recently.
I watched this not too long ago.
Oh, too. Yeah, wow. I
don't think I've ever seen it.
Yeah. No way. Okay, it's so fascinating. Because like basically it's like a story of like a guy who runs like 3 magazines, and he's like really rich and powerful because he runs 3 magazines. You're like, bro, in the modern era, you run 3 magazines, you're like just a step above minimum wage. You know what I mean? Like that's not a thing anymore. Do you know what I mean?
You're printing a zine in your bed.
That's like, right, exactly. But no, the story is basically like, Tom Cruise. It's actually
Kidman?
No, this is with Cameron Diaz and Penelope Cruz.
Yeah.
And it's actually incredibly funny because essentially the movie is like, what if Tom Cruise was suddenly ugly? And it's like, yeah, like that's actually most of the movie. And he essentially goes insane as a result of this.
Right.
And like the funny thing is that like this was originally a Spanish film. And Tom Cruise decided to like pick this up and produce it, here in for an American audience. So basically Tom Cruise was so moved by this story of a person who was suddenly ugly and then went crazy. Tom Cruise was like, well, people need to see this story, man. That's of course what would happen to you. If you were suddenly ugly, you would go fucking insane. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's actually a really interesting film. It's very kind of like awkward and messy. I can't really say much about it.
It's strange.
Okay.
It's strange. Let's just say like Cameron Diaz gives a really good performance.
She's the best.
She actually won like a Golden Globe for this or some shit, something like that. But she plays like this crazy obsessed woman who's like obsessed with Tom Cruise's character. And Penelope Cruz is basically like if Amelie could talk. You know what I mean? Like kind of like a quirky girl that's just like so dreamy and I don't know, like yeah. So, but it ends up being a very, I don't know. I can't. There's a reference.
Yeah, it's hard.
There's a reference that really blows it all open, and you're like, oh, it's that. But I don't want to say it because I think if you do have the chance to go and see this movie, I do recommend seeing it. It's not the kind of movie that gets made these days, I think.
The Times Square opening.
Oh my God, incredible. Like shut down the entirety.
It's like worthy of a bigger movie. Like it's crazy.
Shut down the entirety of Times Square just so Tom Cruise can run through it,
Yeah, which has like never been done. Not Tom Cruise running the Times Square thing.
He does
that
quite
rarely happens.
But it's a bit awkward at times. It's very self-indulgent. It's very weird and off-putting at times. But like overall though, it's really quite sort of like there's something to it. And there's a guy in it that looks exactly like Ben Mendelsohn, but it's not Ben Mendelsohn. It's like if Ben Mendelsohn were young.
Who is it?
His name's like Noah something or other. I forget, right? But I'm like,
Mendelsohn.
I was like, I watched this movie and I'm like, oh, what? Young Ben Mendelsohn's in this? And I Google it, and the AI response at the top of Google was like, no, Ben Mendelsohn is not in this movie. You are probably thinking of this guy. And I'm like, God damn it. Fuck you, AI. Absolutely. You got me dead to rights. So yeah, man, it's a good time. It's fascinating. It's interesting, weird, but I do recommend it for sure. It was a good time. So yeah.
I think Cocktail is better.
I mean, yeah, of course
we're talking weird Tom Cruise movies.
Of course it is. Absolutely. No arguments there. But yeah, that's me.
Did you buy it on 4K Blu-ray?
Mm-hmm. I just buy.
What a movie to own,
dude. I just try and buy as many old. I don't know if I tell. I'm like watching old like legal style movies. Like for example, I watched Primal Fear the other night as well.
Ooh, I've never seen that.
With Edward Norton and Richard Gere.
Yeah,
and I watched like A Few Good Men. I watched The Firm. And so I'm just kind of like,
Firm's great.
whatever I can get my hands on for like old shit, like 4K, I'm like, yeah, I'll do that. It's nice.
Yeah.
It's a good time.
I'll check that out.
Nice.
Oh, I watched How to Make a Killing, by the way, with Glenn Powell.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
It
yeah.
came out, yeah, it was okay.
Okay.
I don't really have much to say about
Oh,
it.
wow. It means James.
It's kind of like a lame mystery, like fake American Psycho taking place on Long Island, and it's the most faked Long Island ever.
That's why you hate
It takes
it.
place in
That's why
Long
New York
Island
City.
looks like the Warner Brothers lot in California.
It takes place in Manhattan and on Long Island, and neither of those places are in the movie actually at all. It's so funny.
Okay. Cool. All right.
Well,
That's it.
Last night I watched The Drama, which is
Oh, yeah.
a 24 movie with Zendaya and Robert Pattinson.
Oh,
How
I
is
had
it?
no idea. I love it so much. I think it's a really, really great movie. Never want to watch it again.
Okay. Why?
All right.
Why? What's it about, firstly? Tell us what it's
don't
about.
spoil it for me.
No
What's it
spoils. It is about a couple who are getting married.
Okay. Cool.
Cool.
It's
Therein lies the drama.
produced by Ari Aster.
I don't know who that is.
Oh,
Hereditary,
okay.
Midsummer.
Okay, sure,
So it's don't think it is a horror in that way. It is
Weird.
like a horror of the human condition,
Okay.
I suppose, in a weird way, and how I don't want to go into it too much. It's a really great movie. We all felt like super tense and awkward throughout multiple scenes of it. But then there are so many ties and callbacks, and I think it's a really well thought through film that I can respect how good it is and how well it is made. Robert Pattinson, Zendaya, incredible in those roles. Payoff is great. I really enjoyed it. It's a tough watch. It's a tough watch, but I do recommend it. I really like it.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Book wise, after reading 6 books in January, I took 4 months off.
Okay. Good. Excellent.
So now I'm reading Tender as the Flesh, which is maybe not the one I should have jumped back in with, but it's a really great book about what would happen. A fictionalized, obviously, account of man who works in an abattoir / meat processing facility. After animal meat has been made illegal due to a virus, meaning that anytime a human eats animal meat, they're going to die, they're going to be poisoned. And so what has humanity done? But they breed humans for livestock.
That's awesome. That's so
And it
cool.
is I find it fascinating, and it's like the writer, I forget the name, but they are so clinical and sterile with how they describe the process of preparing meat. Like
Interesting.
stunning the head, they call it, stunning them and like killing and dismemberment. And I think it's just it's difficult to read, especially like I don't know about you guys. I always like kind of go back and forth on my consumption of meat.
Never had that problem.
I don't know. Sometimes I just go back and forth a lot. But the
Go
thing
back
about
and
this
forth
book,
to the buffet. Go on. Just keep going.
The thing I think that is so good about this book is that they have really gone in on how meat production, consumption fits in every aspect of society. The things that would be filled, like certain sectors have wormed their way in because of humans are available to eat now. I think it's a really good book. I will say it's a difficult read.
Yeah,
but,
It sounds interesting though.
It's really interesting. My final thing that I've been doing that I need more people to know about, because once again, Apple TV have 2 great shows that they've done jack shit to promote, except for maybe Margot. Yeah. Margot has money troubles. They have actually been promoting, but it's because it's A24. It's the Elle Fanning one about the mother who's 20 years old and she turns to OnlyFans. I'm a couple episodes in, it's great. But Widow's Bay, please, if you love me at all, please watch Widow's Bay.
Okay.
It is, okay.
Oh.
Imagine if Faulty Towers was set on an island.
Here we go. Like our 45% American audience is like, Faulty what?
Okay,
now?
no, so there is this island that is not doing very well. They don't have a lot of money. Everyone who lives there is kind of weird, but it's because they're so insular. It's like a lot of fishermen and a lot of people who just don't really leave the island. The new mayor wants to change that, so invites a reporter from the New York Times to come. But it turns out the island is haunted as fuck, and the people who like used to live there have done some really heinous shit.
So wait, is this a series?
So it is a horror. Yes,
horror
it's a series.
Okay.
It is a horror comedy.
Horror comedy. Okay.
And
cool.
when I tell you, it is by one of the writers of Parks and Rec.
Right.
But also, crucially, the person who is responsible for the going to what she thought was a Halloween party dressed as the Babadook, but it had more of an adults drinking wine vibe. That person wrote and created and wrote this series.
Wow.
So,
and Matthew Rhys is in it.
And Matthew Rhys is the main guy from The Americans, Matthew Rhys. And he is fantastic. It is just full of such oddball characters. There are some background jokes. There is one joke in particular with a calendar in the first or second episode that is so funny. We paused it to like just laugh and like rewind it to watch it again.
Right.
It is really good. I really don't want this show to fail because it is such a cool premise that's really fucking funny. And then the second episode, it gets spooky. And so it's kind of like a mashup of everything that I love. I really, really recommend it.
Nice.
I will watch it.
I will check that out. That sounds great, actually. Yeah.
Please do.
Awesome.
And that's it. That's all I got.
We made it.
We
made it through
did another episode.
We sure did.
So next episode we'll have Forza to be able to talk about.
We will have Forza.
I think is Zero Parade's out by then?
Yeah.
Yeah, because the next episode's like the 20th, and then Zero.
It'll be around then, yeah.
Around that. Lego Batman is on the 22nd. Yes. So if they're doing like early embargo, we might be able to talk about that. That'll be fun. And,
Jake, did you see specifically
the Batman Begin?
Yeah, oh, yeah, that's nice. I saw that.
I was like, holy shit!
So anyone who doesn't get the joke, to explain the joke, Jake does it for anyone who doesn't live online.
It's so Michael Caine has a Twitter account, and he's always just tweeted weird, bizarre, broken tweets, and he tweeted so
it was why do we fall what was it
the quote like why do we fall to learn to pick ourselves back up, Batman Begin. Like that's the tweet, like he wrote Batman Begin. So the Lego Batman game put that in and they made Alfred say it.
So
it's fantastic.
That's insane.
Yep.
So hopefully we will talk about that one too, embargo dependent, but there'll be plenty.
Yeah,
there's a lot of games.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Busy May, so stick with us.
Gonna be May. And then after that episode, we'll be allowed to talk about 007.
Yeah. Fun times.
May is the most loosely coded month of the year, apparently.
Big month.
Thank you so much for watching, listening, rating, commenting.
Clicking.
We really, clicking on all those women. We really appreciate.
Clicking on binders full of women.
Oh no!
Remember that?
Yes, we remember that,
man.
Jake. Unfortunately, we do. This is a much simpler time. Take me back.
Back in the day.
That was it. Yeah, was
that
really
was it.
Yeah.
That's enough. That's enough.
That's enough. That is enough.
That is enough.
That is so enough.
Enough for this episode. Thank you again. We'll see you in a couple weeks.
Thank you, guys. Tie your shoes and go to bed.
That's enough.